Close up what? Damn, okay.
How you feel after something like that happens? You're like, oh my gosh, did that really just happen? Or you're like, people are going to think I'm crazy if I even attempt to repeat this story. You know, is very serious and scared about it. Please listen, because obviously there's something going on and they're scared.
Mm-hmm.
So please listen.
Yes.
So what other stories do you got?
Well, let's see where Corey gets his silliness. It's just like his sister.
Wiggle.
Okay, anyway. This one, it's not really that. I mean, to me, it's scary because it was like the first time this ever happened to me. But it's gonna be kind of like a combination of different stories together, because it's kind of this kind of thing is something that's I just feel like I need to say multiple stories together to get y'all to understand. I don't know. I just feel like I need to say all of it. This part. But there was a time whenever Corey, me, and our friend Douglas were staying. We were up. It was like 12 o'clock at night. Okay, I want y'all to hear this part. Everything in the house was turned off. Everything. TV. We didn't have the AC or the heater on, okay? All the fans were off. My mom was already in bed, and all the dogs were put in the bedrooms, already in there. And I mean, they were already sleeping, and we were just sitting there talking about what we wanted to do the next day. And our house is kind of weird because we have like the kitchen. There's this one long room, okay? And then there's the living room. And then off from that long room is where the bedrooms are. So this long room is in the center of the house, okay? It's a really big room. It's probably longer than your house. That's how big it is.
Wow.
Okay? And we're sitting in there, and we're talking. And we were just like, yeah, we could do blah, blah, blah tomorrow. You know, just whatever. I'll see you tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And as we were starting to turn to go to the bedrooms, which Douglas was going this way, me and Corey were going this way. We all three of us heard, hey! Like, hey, what about me? You know, you're not gonna talk to me? Like that kind of a hey. Mm-hmm. And it was like a really high-pitched hey. Okay, so me, Corey, and Douglas all stopped at the same time. Just stopped right in our tracks. And we all slowly turned, and we all looked at each other, and we were like, what the f*** was that? Because we know that was not my mom. And that sure was not no dog whining or something. That was a straight up hey. Like, hey, what about me? You know? Yeah. You're not gonna tell me good night? Like... So we all were like sitting there looking at each other, and then Douglas was like, I think it came from in the hallway by the bedrooms. So we looked down the hallway, and right as we were looking down the hallway, we saw a figure walk like it was going towards the front door. And it was probably about your size, actually. It was a little girl. A little girl.
She's comparing me to a little girl, guys.
She's really short, though. It's so
I
cute.
Really short.
But anyway, she was probably, I want to say she was probably like 5'4", 5'5". Okay, she was really small, and she looked like she was still a teenager. I can't really say she was a teenager, but by the size, you would think she was a teenager.
Yeah.
And all you saw was just the silhouette, like a dark figure, and you could see that she had hair because it was flowing behind, and she had a dress on because you could see the skirt going out, like back behind her, and she was like walking in front of my bedroom door, and across to go through the living room. I mean, through the front of the front door, because my room is like right here. And you go down this hallway, okay, and then the front door is right there. So, like, my bedroom, it's, like, right next to the front door.
Okay, quick question. Was she carrying anything?
I don't remember. I don't think so. I didn't see that. All I saw was, like, right as she was going, and her hair was probably, like, down to, like, right, well, farther than yours.
Yeah.
And I know it was black hair. She had, from what I could tell, it was like a corset type dress. And it was very dark. I know it was a dark dress because you could barely see her.
Yeah.
And all you saw was just, all her hair was like in front of, like, all right here. You couldn't see her face because she was going like from the side. So all you saw was just the dark hair like going down right here. And it was kind of like she was almost looking down but not looking down at the same time.
So kind of like The Ring in a way?
I guess. Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Sorta. I'm trying to give them a visual so they can visualize it.
And all I could say is, like, she was moving. She wasn't, like, stepping. It was like she was floating. If that makes sense.
That makes total sense.
It was like she was floating. She wasn't, like, taking a step. And it was so... Like, me and Douglas saw it, mostly. Corey didn't really see it, but me and Douglas saw it. Right as we were looking around the corner, you saw her go. Mm-hmm. And right when I saw that, I was like... my eyes just jolted wide open.
Like, wide open. Like,
yes, because that was the first time I had, like, really seen something.
Yeah.
I mean, out here, and I can always feel them when they're around me.
I know.
But that was the first time, like, I actually, like, full on, like, saw something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was... And there's times I always feel like whenever I go around that corner, because I have to go down that hallway to get to my room, and whenever I turn that corner, I'm always scared I'm going to end up seeing her at the end of that hallway again. I haven't seen her since then.
Yeah.
But...
I mean, I understand why you're scared and why you don't want to see them again, because, I mean, honestly, when you do, it kind of takes you by surprise, and even though you might be used to it, you're like, oh, crap.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it just takes you by surprise. It takes me by surprise literally all the time. And like I said, I'm 32 years old. So this has been going on as long as I can remember. Like, my earliest memory is when I was about 3.
Wow.
And my mom, if she watches your video, she's probably gonna be like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe you said that. But I'm gonna say it anyways. So, were you done with your story?
No, I still had more I wanted to say. But after that, it's kind of weird, is that's whenever I started actually hearing things more. Like, after I saw her that first time, I guess it's because I reacted to it, and like she saw me react to it.
Yeah, that's exactly
whenever
what
I
happens.
started seeing things. And it was kind of weird because there was another time, because Douglas stayed with us for months. He was staying with us. He was staying with me, I think, for at least 4 or 5 months. He was staying with us, okay?
Yeah, I remember y'all telling me about that.
Whenever... There was so many times that he would wake up, and me and Corey were already up because Douglas slept longer than us, and he'd get up and he'd come in the living room. And whenever my mom would leave the room, because my mom, she's the same way, she doesn't really believe in the paranormal stuff, okay? So whenever it comes to talking about paranormal, there's no point in even trying, because she doesn't believe it. She doesn't understand it. She doesn't see it like I do, or we do.
Yeah.
And whenever she'd leave the room, he'd start talking to me about stuff. And there was this one time, it was literally like not even a few days after that happened, okay? He had told me, he's like, you guys, you know what happened last night? We're like, what? And he said, I woke up at like 2 o'clock this morning, had to go to the bathroom, and then I just had the urge to come sit in the living room in pitch black. Don't turn on the light or nothing. I mean, our living room is dark. Mm-hmm. I mean, because our living room is full of windows, but I mean, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. There's not going to be any lights.
Yeah, of course.
Okay? So he's like, he said he sat in that living room, sat on the floor for 2 hours, and said he was talking to a little girl in our living room.
Whoa.
Had a full-on conversation with her. And he said she had a red ball, and was playing with the red ball, talking to him about how much she loved her red ball, and was so happy she had a new toy to play with.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We need to talk to Douglas. We need to get him on here and be
Douglas has experienced a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
He said he sat there for an hour and just sat there and talked to her. He said she sat right in front of him. Like, it was probably like maybe like good, like that. I mean, from probably like from me to the back seat, okay?
Yeah.
Away. And she was throwing the ball at him, and she like, catch the ball. She wanted him to play with them.
You know, in a way that's like, oh my gosh, that's totally awesome. And then that's like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. When he told me that,
you know?
And it was kind of weird because just, there was a friend of mine, his name is also Corey, okay? Mm-hmm. He came over, him and his wife, and we were all drinking, okay? And he had to get up to...
It's better when you're drinking.
He had to get up to go pee. So he's like, I'm going to go to the side of the house to go to the bathroom. And it was just us. And we were all sitting outside, okay?
Yeah.
No one was inside. And we checked after this. None of the animals were in the house. All the dogs were outside. All the cats were hiding and sleeping or whatever. And he said when he went to the side of the house to go pee, he said he felt like he heard someone like on the window. Like straight up like... He said, whenever that happened, he said, my pee stopped so quick. But no, I'm serious. Like, He said,
oh my gosh, that would freak me out so bad.
He said he was in midstream of going to the bathroom and he heard.
I would have been up so quick.
And he bolted. I mean, he started running. He ran to the table. So that's why I was like, what's wrong? And he said, I was legit trying to piss. And someone was knocking on the glass of your, like, right in front of him. Knock like, hey. You know? Yeah.
That would freak me out just a little bit. Because you don't know what is knocking on that window. Or who. Or
every person that goes to my house. I'm telling you right now, whenever you come to my house, you're probably going to feel it. Because I've had so many people just stand out in my driveway and just be staring at the back door, which is really like the front door. But the front door is on the other side of the house, but everybody always goes through the back. And they will just stand there and stare at the back door and just be like, I already don't like this. Yeah. I don't want to go in there.
Like, it just gives off that kind of vibe.
Yes. And it's just, it's not anything like bad, but you can just feel that there's something up. Yeah, like, you can feel the difference in the atmosphere, pretty much. And I mean, you can walk through, if you turned off everything in that house and just, I don't know if you're like me, whenever I'm asleep, like if I was to sit in a room completely pitch black, just lay in my bed, I can see things. I don't know if you do. I literally will see things walking around the room. Yeah, I legit sleep the night light just because of that, because part of me doesn't care if I see it, but then again, I'm trying to go to sleep and I'm like, leave me alone, you know? And that's why I like while we've been here, Danita, or your mom doesn't have a TV in that room, the full bed. And they have a TV, but it doesn't, like, TV doesn't work. And all it has is the blue screen with the no signal on it. Yeah. And I told Corey, I said, I don't care if it has sound or not, I just have to have some kind of light, because if it's pitch black in here, I won't be able to sleep. Because I will sit there and it's like I can hear it too whenever the TV ain't working. Exactly. That's why if the TV is not on, if the TV is, if I don't have light, it's like my ears, my sound, it like and increases and I can hear everything that happens. Exactly. See, that happens to me also, but my ears also ring, and it's like I hear so many different things and ringing, so it's like, oh my gosh, I cannot take it anymore. And I legit wake up my husband and say, okay, you need to turn on the air conditioner because I can't stand it. I know exactly. That's how it is for me. I cannot I have to have my fan on. I have to have noise. I have my fan on and I have my TV on every night at home, and I have it like up loud volume, because if it's not up as loud as I will hear it over the TV sometimes. And Corey, I guess it's because he tries to block it out. He does. Because he doesn't, he says, I don't experience that much. And I'm sitting here like, I have all this stuff happening to me. How do you not have all this craziness going on with you too? Yeah, I guess when we were little, it kind of, I don't want to say it messed him up, but it kind of affected him in a different way. So he kind of blocks it and he kind of pushes it away. And when you do that, you don't really get experiences or anything like that. But if you're like me and accept it, you get all the experiences you want. Well, see, it's even to like, there's been times, like I had a friend that she had a boyfriend that had passed away. And I don't know how I did it. I guess it was like a feeling. She was over at my house. And I just, like, I told her I felt something. And I didn't even know he had passed, okay? And I was like, I feel something. And she's like, well, what are you feeling? I was like, I feel like there's someone right next to me. And she's like, well, tell me what you're feeling. And I could describe him to the T. Yeah. Of this guy. And I couldn't see him, but I could feel it. And it was like, I was like told the answers without being really told, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And she said I described her boyfriend that had passed away. Wow. And I didn't even, like, I couldn't see him. I just could feel it. Yeah. And it's like, I could feel it all the time. And I know that probably will sound crazy to you. I don't know. But it'd be nice to be able to talk to someone that understands that, because it's like, I could be sitting on the back